Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Dorks, the TTRPG channel for BP Fun. I am Voices, here as the Dungeon Master for our brand new campaign, Allandia. This is the prologue by land that we're doing. This is part 2 of the by land series. There's also a by sea series happening at the exact same time. You're going to get it every other week. But we'll just get right into the cast. Maven, you can kick us off for this grouping.
Hi, I'm Maven, and I play Drat.
Next up, Sloth, if you want to introduce.
Hey, this is Chemistry Sloth. I play as Rin Aogan.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Tippy.
I'm Tippy and I play Thorin.
So last we left off, the characters were traversing through the woods and had just started to see the Veiled Eye come into the horizon, I guess, as night started to set on the last day. You guys were currently traveling with an individual named what's the guy's name again? Thorlin.
Orlin. No, Orlin. I'm
Orlin,
Thorin.
yes.
Orlin.
Yes, you are. That's it. Orin Faro, I believe is the character's name. Orin Faro, he asked you guys if you guys would escort him through the very treacherous woods on the way to Malmali. He wants to sell some wares. So as you guys are walking along the dirt-ridden path, you start to see a shadowy, enigmatic structure nestled in the heart of the dense forest, sitting on the banks of a gently flowing river. Its 4 stories loom like a watchful sentinel, half hidden by the thick canopy of trees. The building's dark, weathered wood and moss-covered stones blend seamlessly with its surroundings, giving it its appearance of an ancient relic long forgotten by the outside world. The first thing that catches your eye is the symbol of a half-closed eye, carved prominently into the heavy wooden door and repeated subtly in the architecture. Ivy and creeping vines crawl over the structure, partially obscuring the carvings and lending the building an air of secrecy. Narrow, warped glass windows are scattered irregularly along the facade, reflecting light in a way that makes the tavern seem alive. Lanterns hang on wrought iron hooks, their dim flames flickering in the cool forest air, and a narrow arched bridge crosses the river to meet the tavern's entrance, its planks creaking softly underfoot, and the faint sound of rushing water mingles with the rustling of leaves, creating a tranquil yet eerie atmosphere. And at the back of the tavern, you can see a small dock that juts out into the river, concealed by thick reeds and hanging willows. Boats tied here and there, and most of them probably go unnoticed under the veil of darkness. As you guys get right up to the door, Orlin opens up a little pack that he has next to him and pulls out 3 masks.
Is it the pack that he's been hugging tightly or a different one?
It is the one that he's been hugging tightly.
Okay.
Yep, he pulls out 3 masks and hands them to each of you. If you guys would like to, you guys can do a quick little description of what a mask would look like that you were just putting on. I'm going to just say this is completely up to your flavors. Whoever wants to go first, go for it. Just a little mask. Just a little something to put on so that
Is it just like a mask down here, like a full face?
It can be either one. You can pick. He just hands them out and then you magically canonize how they look.
Mine would definitely be like a raccoon eyes. So it's like gray with like a little black strip, like a little raccoon.
Okay. Do you have a hat on?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I have like a headband.
Oh, it's a headband? Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'd kind of like tuck it. So the headband's still there. Actually, no, I'd put it over it because I wouldn't want them to see the headband and then know it was still me. So I'd definitely tuck it in the top of the headband so you don't see the headband.
Okay, perfect. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go. I'll have a hawk face mask, one where it kind of like comes to a point at my nose.
Solid. And last one?
Mine looks like a sugar skull. Like it's got the colorful motifs, like some marigolds. I always forget if it's marigolds or magnolias. Marigolds.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So Orlin puts on his mask. His mask is kind of like it's very ornate. It's got like a gold embroidery that goes along the sides of it. It's a full mask that goes across. It has one slit for his mouth, and then it does have a protrusion for the nose. It's got a little bit of reds, some blues, and then it does match like the purple that he's been wearing, with little like highlights that are across the cheekbones, and then also just at the tip of the chin. So he kind of clicks open the door and he looks at all of you and goes, "Now, whatever you do not take off your mask for no reason. The whole idea of the Veiled Eye is anonymity. No one will take off the mask for you, and you do the same. It is
Should
a
I
level of
change?
respect." What do you
I'm-
mean change?
My outfit's not exactly discreet. Even without my mask, I'm pretty sure someone would recognize what I'm wearing.
If you feel the need to change. Well, if you need to change, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna change.
What do you change into?
I'm just gonna mainly take off the big coat that I wear, like the robe thing, so it's still the
Okay.
undershirt. And then I'm just
Okay.
gonna kind of like turn the undershirt inside out, so the inside's like a dark, so it looks almost like a black shirt. And that's
Okay.
basically it.
And then what did you want to switch up?
I have a robe in my bag of common clothes. I'm gonna throw that over my dress clothes.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Did you want to change anything, Rin, or were you just going bare into it?
No, I don't think I'm wearing anything that's too obvious.
Okay.
Pretty tame, I think.
And so you guys kind of notice that as Orlin is like waiting for you guys kind of to just like maneuver your outfits, he kind of like rolls his eyes a little bit before he puts the mask down completely. And then he opens up the door. This is the most flamboyant looking place there ever was. Like, it is so very obvious that no matter if you guys walked in bare naked, you probably would have still blended, because of how crazy dressed everyone is. It doesn't make a lot of sense how these people are here though, and it's very, very packed. A dimly lit space where shadows kind of play tricks on the eye, and a large stone hearth occupies one wall, casting flickering light over the rough-hewn wooden tables and mismatched chairs. The air is thick with the scent of damp wood, spiced ale, and roasted meats. The bar stretches across the back wall, and its polished oak surface marred with countless scratches and stains from years of use. Behind it, shelves are stocked with ornate bottles and barrels, some labeled with strange, indecipherable runes, and the bartender, a sharp-eyed half-elf, watches the room with quiet intensity, and her hands always busting mugs or blades. And most everyone is kind of talking to themselves. Nobody's rowdy. That's the big thing. You guys have mostly coming from where you were, where it was like if you didn't get in a fight or throw up, you weren't part of the group. This is a very stark difference. Everyone here kind of presents themselves in a higher caliber, and you can tell by majority of the masks shown about that there is money sitting in these seats, as well as some of the games you can see. There is also money sitting within those seats. But as you kind of walk in, you kind of get a look around. Orlin is still like holding the door open, and he just says, "I'm going to put my cart along the side. There is an area for merchants to put their wares that will be kept to its need of secrecy, and then I will be in shortly." And he kind of closes the door behind you guys, and you hear the cart kind of just wheel off a little bit in the distance. So what would you guys like to do? What would you guys like to kind of check out? You're now in the Veiled Eye. You noticed at the beginning, and I don't know if I said this, but there is 4 stories to this place. So that's another part of it. Bar keeps up at the front. There's a lot of different games being played. You see a couple of people playing a game that you guys know as Mills Gambit, and some other ones that are kind of just like shooting the stuff, talking back and forth, kind of laughing about something that you can't really understand from this position.
Can you remind me, is there a reason why we're here, or is this just our stop for the night?
It's
think you
pretty much
wanted
a
to
stop
come
for the
here.
night.
Just
Didn't he want to come here?
I mean, I don't remember who, but there was somebody that got a little bit of information about something that was going on at this place, probably around this night. I just don't remember who it was. I don't want to give too much on that, but it was. So there is some information to be found. Okay.
It's in my notes, but not for me.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's probably Rin that got that information. So you might want to check through your notes a little bit as you're kind of dispersing through. I mean, I will say, like, if you don't see it in your notes, then I can give you a quick refresher on what it was. You were told by the barkeep something at the old one.
I got it.
Okay, solid. So you guys are just kind of kind of biding your time until Orlin comes in. He did say he would set you guys up for the night. So whatever you guys need to have paid and stuff like that, that will be set up by Orlin. He's just out putting his cart away where it needs to be right now.
A diamond encrusted armor made of pure gold.
What?
These are whatever we need. So he was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take it now.
No, not
Sell
that.
later.
Not that.
So,
Yep. Still.
so
not
I would
that.
notice everyone's kind of extravagantly dressed, and I would definitely go out with him to put my robe back on because I'm like ready.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfectly fine. So yeah.
I'll go ahead and just take my robe that's on my dress clothes and throw it back in my backpack.
Okay, that works. All right. So you guys are back to your extravagant, very.
I feel like we'll blend in better
fun
by
stuff.
being a
Yeah.
little more.
You guys definitely get the gauge that you probably would have blended in better. I will say, for the most part, looking around, maybe about 100 to 110 patrons within. You're seeing about 10% maybe is half elf or gnomish. So that's kind of the only thing that might show difference between you guys.
Well, I'm in home.
I know.
Oh, you
So
said
that's what I'm
wait,
saying. There's-
10%. Oh, I see.
Yeah, so like there is
Not
some
many.
there's like you see a couple of halflings that are like around there, but for the most part it's like there's not a whole lot of gnomes or like what's the other race that I'm thinking of? It's a little small one. No, not halflings. No, goblins are definitely not. I can't remember, but
Kobolds.
no, it's not. Yeah, you're not seeing goblins or kobolds or any of those types of things. You might get there's like 2 Aarakocras kind of just like scattered amongst, kind of going back and forth. Nothing too crazy though. One's kind of got like the brown feathers to it. The other one looks definitely eaglish, like over the others, very much eaglish. And they're both sitting at a table though, and like puffing their chests up to each other, like definitely trying to show who's better of the other.
While Orland's out, because I know that he said he didn't want us to be involved with the Bloody Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly make my way over to the bartender.
Okay.
I'll say one moment, and I'll just make my way over and speak to whoever's there.
So there is a half elf, probably in his late 40s. He has kind of like a quiet demeanor with pretty rugged features that are slightly softened because he is elvish. But he's a pretty big, muscular guy, sits at about like 6'3"-ish, dark brown hair, streaked with a little bit of gray, nothing too crazy, and like super defined cheekbones, steel gray eyes, and he's got a dark high collared shirt with rolled up sleeves, and he's got some tattoos actually, which are kind of cool, which are swirling, and there's actually a couple that have like some daggers, and then a couple of like ribbons that kind of wrap around his arm as well. But he's kind of just sitting there, just up at the bar, kind of eyes you once you come and sit down, because you are a little bit smaller of stature than the regular patrons within.
So I just say, I hear that there is the bloody circle. I'm looking. Where may I be pointing?
Oh, you're looking to join?
I might.
Well, so the Blooded Circle, usually a little bit later. We usually let the sun go down like a couple of ticks before we start the matches up, but that's going to be on the 3rd level. You're going to have to, do you have an invitation or anything along those lines, or are you just trying to get into here all by yourself?
I have an invitation.
Alright. Well, if you have an invitation, I would say, when you see some of the patrons start making their way upstairs, you can definitely start to follow. If you're not a member, then what you'll have to do is, it's going to be, well, if you just want to watch, then it'll be 5 gold to watch. That pretty much sets your wager in, and then you pretty much have to use that for your wager. And then, if you want to join, that's going to be 25 gold pieces. But other than that, where did you hear about the Blooded Circle?
Oh, I have my sources.
Very well, very well. Oh,
What
can I
can
get you
I-
anything to break your time?
Some more info. What can I find on the other floors?
Oh, well, 2nd floor is pretty much all of your rooms that are for, like, you know, patrons to purchase so that they can sleep during the night. 3rd is the arena, and the 4th is a certain patrons. He has it to himself. That's about it.
Can you? It belongs to a single individual.
Yeah, he's known for his bloodied circle fights, and so he comes here and he brings the crowds. So I've allowed him to have the upper floor to himself, and that's that.
You gave us a name last time. I remember. None of my notes.
Okay, that's all right. You'll probably hear about him. As you guys are kind of looking around a little bit, there's a couple of circle tables kind of scattered amongst, and then a couple of rectangular ones. There is a longer rectangular one, where if you were to say the rowdy patrons were at, however, most of them look not like inebriated or anything, but just kind of more rugged in their features, at least more well built than the majority of the patrons. And that's over kind of like towards the middle, sitting in the middle of the bar right now.
I would definitely use this opportunity to like find a table where I could set up my crystal ball and try to announce like anyone who wants their fortune told can come to me.
Okay,
Fortune
that's
told.
perfectly fine. There's a couple of tables that have like 1 or 2 patrons at it. There's not any completely empty.
And I'll just
so-
park it with one of the least that's kind of like in the center, but center towards a wall. Because I don't want to be surrounded. I want to be able to kind of get my back.
You want to be in a corner?
Yeah.
There's a corner one, and the corner ones are definitely the least occupied. The far back corner right next to the bar has about 2 patrons, and then the one that's the farthest away, which when you enter into the door, it's to the right of you. That one has 1 guy at. So if you want to set up
I
your
put myself there.
shop there, okay.
Yeah.
So you just kind of make your way and sit across. It's a man. He's got a full gray head of hair. You can barely see it though, because he does have his hood partially up. His mask is all black, and it has these like lines of silver that connect the cheekbone, and then also it pretty much like surrounds his cheekbones, his eye sockets, and then also comes down and makes like a circle around his mouth and then taps at the chin. And so he's kind of just sitting there and he's, hello.
I'm just gonna kind of give him a nod, like hello. So I kind of like as I'm going, I'd be kind of giving a wave, like if you want your fortune told, come this way, come. And then I park him. You don't mind if I'm here, correct? Good, thank you. I do not give him time to reply.
Okay. And he just kind of looks at you. You see a couple of patrons like kind of get up and they're looking to you. Nobody, it doesn't seem like anybody is too keen on sitting down quite yet, but you know, possibly if there's somebody to break the ice, there might. Let's just see. Let's see if there's somebody that's gonna break the ice. Let's just see.
Well, I'm right next to the dude with the mask, so if nobody came, I'd probably ask him first. Like if he was interested. Would you like your fortune told, sir?
Might as well. I've got a lot going for me, so if the future looks bright, it makes me feel better.
Makes sense. So the first one of the night will be on the house just for you, get the ball rolling. People can see I'm legitimate, they might be more keen on taking my wares.
Understood.
Fair trade.
Your own guinea pig.
Exactly.
So what do I have to do for this?
Just stand here.
Strange, sir.
Yes, so come. See this crystal ball here? It's not large. Put your hands around it like this. Like my hands are here, put your hands around mine. And now,
So.
at this point, the ball's going to start glowing. And like kind of mist on the inside will swirl.
Okay.
So what did you
can
say?
You can see that his eyes are pretty transfixed on it. And there's definitely a level of intrigue. There's only so much you can discern from a mask.
Yeah.
But you do kind of see like his eyes have kind of squinted to it, kind of little skeptical on what exactly is going on here.
What did you say your name was, sir?
Aaron.
Aaron, lovely to meet you, Aaron. So, what are you looking for in life, Aaron? What are your goals, your aspirations?
Oh. My wife used to ask me that before she took my house. I don't know.
Oh, it's very unfortunate.
I guess something just to like bide my time until, well, death takes me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's lovely. Okay, let's see here. Do you partake in any gambling, Aaron?
I put the house up at one time. I won it, but Mrs. wasn't too happy about it, obviously.
Is that why she left?
There were signs, probably. That was probably a good portion of it.
Oh.
I'll say.
Let's see here. I'll look into your gambling future. How about that?
All right.
Looky there. Look. And like the mist inside is gonna kind of phase. It's gonna be a bunch of gold on the table. Like,
Okay.
Now, this could mean two things. It could mean that is your goal to win, or it could mean you've bet that gold and it's on the table. Let's see. Oh, look. That looks like your hand. Pocketing the gold. Oh, look at you.
All right.
And like the
Get
table
behind that.
definitely, like as it zooms out a little bit, he sees himself faintly, and it's definitely here, like in this little place. But then it turns into smoke before you can really make out where.
Oh, all right. That's
Oh.
tough. Okay.
Oh, that's your free fortune, my sir.
All right. That's pretty solid. I'll take it.
At this point, I'm
Appreciate
kind
it,
of
little-
look,
What
like
was
I'm
that?
looking around past him to see if anybody else is looking. So I'm like paying attention to him, but clearly distracted.
You've seen some people that have now. There's two individuals that did come and took the adjacent seats to the man that just got his fortune read. They look intrigued. They're definitely intrigued. By how his fortune was. Can everybody see that, or was it just him?
Everyone can. So how it's angled, you can see the smoke, and they can make out probably like gold, but it was definitely
Okay.
more angled towards
Geared
him. So there's
towards-
more smoke around them on
Okay.
the sides. So like if
Okay.
someone was walking up behind, they would see better than as they curved.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say probably 2 other people kind of sat down and are now talking with him a little bit to gauge like how he feels about it, and it's pretty well received. Anybody else wanna talk about what's going on with theirs? What's going on with them?
Are are there any animals in here?
Yeah. There's not any animals. It is pretty clean inside. So you'd imagine that if there were animals that needed to they were stored somewhere, is probably wherever the cart was to be stored. At this.
Does anyone give me a weird look for having my eagle on my shoulder?
You get a couple of like quick glances. There is a guy with like kind of like a bluish gray hawk mask that kind of like beads at you pretty quick and then kind of like goes back to his conversation that he was having. Nobody really pays too much mind to it.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll pat my eagle on my shoulder, and I'll look for an empty table across the room.
Okay. Probably it would be like the far left. As you guys walk through, so you'd pass. There is a there's a set of stairs that lead up and then kind of split out. So then you'd go up onto the next level. So that's what you pass. In the back corner, there's one patron at the table as well that kind of sat there. Kind of in an all brown drabs. He does have some edging of silver and gold that's kind of imbued into the stitching on his jacket. And he's kind of just sat there. He's playing like solitaire with himself, essentially. Just playing like his own game and then just gathering it together. It definitely looks like there's a lot of people in here that are biding their time for something else. Like people are here for a reason and they're kind of just wasting time waiting for whatever is to come.
I'll look at him and say, "Do you mind if I join you?"
No, absolutely, you guys. Sure. I'm playing one game, just myself.
I meant at the table.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yep, take your seat. Go right ahead.
I take my seat across from him and I pull up my book out and I'll start reading it.
He plays a little bit and then like he keeps looking up. And it's like he like plays a little bit and he just keeps looking. He's like, excuse me.
Yes?
Why do you have a bird on your shoulder?
Why don't you have a bird on your shoulder?
Well, I don't have a bird. Do you own? Is this like your bird? Like, is it your pet?
This is Kel. This is my companion.
Kel? Like the green?
Kels. Kels.
K-E-L-S. Ah, very well. Okay. What are you reading, good sir?
I'm reading... what would you call it? A bit of propaganda?
That doesn't sound treacherous at all. Have a blessed time, I guess. And then he kind of goes back to playing a little bit at a little bit of a faster rate now. We want to probably by now. Rin, you're seated at the bar, and then the rest of you guys do see Orlin does come in. He sits a little bit farther over towards the door of the bar, and definitely doesn't want to interact with much. And he calls over the barkeep. The barkeep comes over. They have a little bit of a conversation back and forth. Orlin reaches in, gets a little bit of gold and passes it forward, and then you see him pass over 3 additional keys. And so he takes that. So actually 2 additional keys, sorry. That was my bad. So but he's kind of just sitting there. He's asked for an ale, so now he has one being poured and given to him. I would say, Thorin, it's probably harder for you to see this. You do have a little bit of commotion going on at your table with not a large crowd now gathering, but like it's about 5 patrons. There's a couple people standing and not sitting down looking at whatever's going on right now. What are you charging right now?
1 silver per fortune.
1 silver? Okay. It's been pretty it's been pretty easy to get patrons for a silver piece.
Yeah.
I'd say probably by now 4 silver can be added for you. You would have gotten about 4 different people's fortunes. Actually 5. There would have been one guy that like tipped you because you somehow like connected one of his heartstrings, and he was like, "Okay, all right, I'll give a little tip to it."
So I'll just,
Rin. Oh, what was that?
I'm gonna keep doing that. I probably wouldn't even be paying attention to Orlin walking in at all.
Rin, do you want to do anything else? Talk to anything else?
I think I can see if I can persuade. Do you think Orlin would divvy up like 25 gold if I just told him? Like, well, sorry. What's the payment on the job?
He hasn't been super specific with that yet.
Okay. Then I'll talk with him about payment. So, because he's up next to me now.
Yeah, I mean he's closest. There's like an additional door that's next to the bar where after you've already placed whatever you need to in the area, like any carts, any animals or anything, then you enter in through that door instead of having to go around to the front. So he's just now entered. So he took like the first bar chair that was right next to the door. And is kind of like, even while he has his ale, he's turned his back to the bar and is kind of looking out to the patrons. You can't really gauge any facial features from him, but his posture kind of shows as a little bit more timid, based on the place where they're at.
Okay. I'm just gonna amble over next to him and say, you look like you're looking for someone.
Oh, no, not looking for anyone. I prefer to just sit here, and then when I want to turn in, I go to sleep. That's about it. I know of what goes on in these places, and I have no want to get involved with it whatsoever.
True.
And it just kind of smug to it, and like, oh, I forgot to say, all of the ales and all of the drinks and stuff do have a straw. But there is no food being sold whatsoever. So there is nobody getting any food or anything like that. It is just all ales. That's about it.
Okay. I rolled inside and I rolled a 6 to see if he's telling me the truth.
I mean, he looks like he doesn't want to get involved with anything that's going on in this room right now. So that's about it to it. Yeah, you can still talk with him and stuff about whatever you need to if you want to.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue. Say, we've been pretty. We've gone along with this pretty blindly. What is our reward for this position? It's not been.
Well, I have a couple of wares that I would be willing to part by based on the attire of each of you. I have something specific that I think I can grab for you. And then also I had planned on 100 gold pieces going to the lot of you for safe travel and safe passage. It's just I had to get my wares there because that's where my money majority is. So once they give me that, then you guys get paid, and bada bing, bada boom, you are good.
And just to be clear, that was 100 split between the 3 of us, or 100?
100 split.
Okay, just making it.
Y'all are level 3, okay? I'm not dropping you guys $1,000 off the bat.
Well,
So yeah.
just
And
make-
he kind of just, you guys make a little bit of small talk back and forth for a little while, and then you want to say anything else with him, or kind of just off to do what you need to?
um, I guess I was trying to see if I could get a little bit of an advance out of him.
I mean, you don't know how much he has on him necessarily, so it's up to you. You did see that he just paid for the rooms, so. But other than that, you can do whatever you'd like.
Good point. You know, this this position is obviously has its difficulties. You know, I was hoping maybe we could get a little bit of an advance, something up front, or and I'll do a persuasion roll.
Okay.
16.
Yeah. All right. He looks at you and goes, I do not have a lot, but what exactly were you looking at advance-wise?
Let's say 5 gold.
All right, I can do that. And he gives you 5, and then he says, because as far as we've gone, there haven't been any issues, and then gives you 3 additional. So you got 8. That's where you're sitting at now. Yep. And he kind of just goes back to drinking his ale through his little bendy straw, and just sitting and looking around. Just he's definitely uncomfortable. His posture is very closed off and legs tucked. Doesn't want a lot to do with the people within here.
All right. No, I think I'm set for right now.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything? There's the table in the middle is kind of getting a little bit more boisterous, and you're starting to see that they're kind of shifting around and starting to pay off some of their tabs, as far as you guys have seen right now.
Has anyone started to head upstairs yet?
Not quite yet. Like each one of them is getting up at their own times to go and kind of pay off to the barkeep what they've been drinking for the night. And then they are still mostly seated. Nobody's gotten up and moved quite yet. There's some empty seats, and then there's also some empty seating around the table as well. If anybody wanted to go over there and check it out at all.
I would take the opportunity of seeing people standing up to kind of make like a last call type of thing. Be like, oh,
Okay.
I'm about to be done. Last minute fortunes.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything? You just chilling with your book?
Yeah. Did the guy who was at my table get up yet?
Probably by now, yeah. He would have gotten up and went to another table.
Then I guess I just sit here and read my book.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything for you, Ren?
Oh, sorry, no. No.
Okay. So Thorin, as you're kind of sitting there, you do see someone stand up and start walking towards you. This is a little bit bigger of a person than you have encountered as of late. Hang on, I gotta find the description real quick. Sorry.
I am tiny, so everyone is bigger than I.
Yeah, but he's kind of sat in his own spot for it. Good lord, if I can find the description. All right, come. Oh my lord, maybe I don't have it. Yep, maybe I was just freaking out. Oh nope, okay. So you kind of see this person gets up and moves over to you, sits down right adjacent, just as the others have. And you see he's got quite an interesting mask on. Oh lord, I just lost my place. Sorry guys. This is my bad. There we go. You see a mask and crafted in complete polished silver. It gleams faintly in the light, and it covers his entire face, leaving only piercing gray eyes visible through the narrow slits. The edges of the mask are slightly outward, giving it kind of like an aerodynamic appearance, and the surface is etched with intricate designs of swirling smoke and crescent moons, symbols tied to kind of things you've seen around this area. Like within the bar, there's certain aspects that are kind of similar. The mask has like a completely neutral and emotionless expression. It kind of makes you a little bit uncomfortable. Like it's so lack of a smile, lack of anything, that it kind of just sits there. Other than that, he kind of sits down and he goes, "So I hear you are giving out fortunes."
Yes, 1 silver piece, and I tell you your fortune.
And you see him put down 3 gold pieces and shove it over and go, "Very well, let's see what you can tell me about myself, good
let's see.
sir."
So follow my motions, put your hands over mine. Just mimic
does
what I
that.
do.
And
the same
you can
thing.
see he has gloves on, and like the gloves are way like, so they're black leather and they're trimmed with silver thread that match the exact same as his mask.
Oh,
So he's got those. Yep.
his hands would be massive on this globe because it's like a
Yeah.
little 6-inch little globe. So,
Yeah. It's like he could pick this up and probably start to pocket it fast if he wanted to.
yeah, so I'm keeping my hands there, and I go. The smoke starts to form, and I go. I see you've ingrained yourself well here, have you not?
Somewhat.
Yes.
I
Oh,
am-
not somewhat. Quite well. So at this point, I'm kind of
Okay.
eyeing, like I'm like trying to be stealth about not eyeing his mask and eyeing the little symbols that are there, but I'm trying to look at the globe. So, like,
Okay.
I did a quick little glance to kind of piece things together. Let's see here. Well, there is change in your future. And as they does it, like, the smoke starts to part, and it shows like him, and like the little things on his mask and the things like start to connect to the things on like the walls, and it all
Okay.
starts to spiral. So I'm kind of like giving him a little bit, trying to make him uneasy. And just for a moment, then it all goes to smoke, and I go, oh, no, you are quite, not just ingrained, quite successful. I would say, is that not true? I
If my
see.
mask doesn't show.
I see your success continuing, but not without a price. And like, it shows kind of him, and it shows his mask cracked. But then it also
Okay.
shows him after being like hoisted up by people as if he's like been some type of victory, but we don't know what. So, yes, I do see further success in your future, but you will have to earn it. It will not come easy. Which at this point it appears to have, you fought for it, but lately you have let yourself kind of ease into things. And that's going to break soon.
Oh. You're an inquisitive little creature, aren't you?
I try.
Very well. He gets up and he
As-
puts down... Oh, what?
Well, go ahead now.
He puts down 2 additional gold pieces and shoves them forward.
Because
He
as
starts
he
to get
steps
them
up, I'm
quick.
grabbing the globe and the coins and kind of playing like that was the last one. I'm done.
Oh, okay. And you guys all see, like, he doesn't tower over everyone else, but he has a demeanor about himself that definitely sticks out among the fray. He's got an all black leather long coat that's tailored exactly to his frame, so you guys can very easily see that he is built. He's built slender, but you can tell definition of some type of masculinity and some type of muscularity that he has within him. Coat's reinforced with kind of a thin leather plating, so it's a little bit thicker in certain spots. And then the shoulders and cuffs are also adorned with faint silver embroidery in swirling and abstract fashions that mimic looks like almost smoke or shadows. And the hem of the coat is split as well. He's got a dark gray shirt on, high collar, that's also embroidered with silver. And his trousers are matching the same as his overcoat. So it's pretty much like all black leather with every bit to be tailored that he can. He also does have a cape. It's a half cape, fastened at one shoulder with a silver clasp shaped like a crescent moon. And the cape is made from a pretty dark material. So yeah, so he kind of goes back. You guys all notice that he was sitting at the head of that large rectangular table with the more rugged patrons of this place. And he kind of just like puts his hand down on the desk and says, gentlemen, I believe we have some business to attend to. And you guys all see that the middle table, all of the individuals rise up and start to kind of walk up the stairs one by one over the little next period of time.
Can I make either a history or arcana check to see if I recognize the symbols on his mask?
I would say for you, you can do an arcana check. Yeah, you can do an arcana check.
Okay. I rolled a 12.
They're not sticking out for you divine at all, but you do kind of realize that there is a lot of the same or similar iconography that is within this tavern. You don't know what it necessarily means. You know that there are gods that are referenced to be part of the what's the word? That are referenced to be part of the soul, the lunar cycles, but it's not necessarily specific enough to discern if that's geared towards a god or geared towards like him just having an infatuation with darkness or the moon of some kind. So probably by now, most everyone at that table have all gone up the stairs. A couple of patrons did get up and take some of their seats, kind of like a finally they left kind of feel. And so now they have that area. And then you do start to see that a couple of other people get up and start going up the stairs. You also notice that some more people have started showing up. So like you're now seeing probably every like 3 to 5 minutes, multiple groupings of people come through both sides of the doors. And a majority of them are all going upstairs, as far as you know.
I just rolled for stealth to make sure that I can, to slip away from Orlin without him noticing.
Okay.
Rolled 15.
Yeah. I would say by now he's, you've been watching, and this is his now third ale being hit back, so more than likely he's getting a little bit tired and a little bit more inebriated to the point where he wouldn't notice just a little gnome running around doing things that he needed to, especially if the gnome was trying not to be seen. Okay, so what do you guys want to do now?
I'm gonna kind of try to regroup, but I'm definitely going towards Drat.
All right. Drat, I mean, you see that Thorin's like kind of walking towards you. Do you want to get up and meet him, or do you want him to come to your table first?
I'll see him, I'll nod, but I'll keep reading my book.
Okay.
So I just I just
Ren, you
stand
probably
myself on the
would have
bird
been
side.
walking up. Okay, set down on the bird side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like parking myself
And-
by him just to.
You guys kind of watch out a little bit, and more patrons start to come in. The lower level does start to get pretty filled, and you still do see that there's more people coming in and going up, at least.
Yeah, I've already slipped away. I don't know if they noticed me or not. My only concern was that Orlin didn't see me, but I don't care if the two of them see me or not.
What are your guys' passive perceptions?
13.
Yeah.
Mine's probably lower than that. Let's see. It's 14.
Okay. So if you guys would have, I mean, were you guys like looking intently out, or were you kind of just like sitting and chilling?
I was looking to regroup, so I was definitely keeping an eye on him, like for him, but I wasn't.
Okay. I'll say give me a quick perception check just to see if you gauge where he went.
Oh yeah, no, it's a 3+. I don't even. 3+. There's a 6. That's worse.
Yeah, Rin, you completely skeeted by all of them, so you're wherever you need to by now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to the arena, 3rd floor.
Okay. So as you kind of go up the steps, you notice that the 2nd floor is a lot quieter and definitely has more quiet air. And each room is kind of, you just see a lot of different doors kind of lined across there. Nothing too crazy. At the end of the hall, you do notice like a larger room with a large, heavy wooden table and a couple of high-back chairs. The doors open enough to where you can see that. You don't really know why or what it's used for. But then you get up past that and you see the arena, and it's as you're walking up the steps that almost as if you pass through a barrier, you hear the sound of the audience start to pretty much roar. The 3rd floor, it's got a large circular pit, pretty much is the majority of it, and it's sunken down into the floor, which, now that you're kind of thinking of it, the physics don't really work on that at all, because you just pass the rooms. So if you pass the rooms, how would it be sunk in? There's iron bars that line all the way along the side of it, as well as torches and sconces that kind of put a light over top as well. And there's, as you see the walls within, there are definitely some bloodstains and scuffs along the walls and the floor. Are you guys still just chilling downstairs?
I mean, we would notice a good amount of people moving.
Yeah, you
Outright.
definitely would have by now.
I'd kind of look at him and say, "Care to follow?"
I don't mind. We can see what all the commotion is about.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of. I'm gonna like definitely try to squeeze into the crowd to kind of blend in a little bit, but still sticking close to him.
Gotcha. Rin, as you get up, because you're the first one there, there is a large minotaur that's right at the entrance, and he kind of looks to you and he's like, "All right. So essentially, you need to either put up your wager or put up your entry fee. What are we doing here?"
Wager.
All right. 5 gold pieces is the lowest you can go. Is that where you want to sit, Ben?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Essentially, you go take your seat, and then right before the match starts, and he gives you this little. It's like a. It's kind of like a. It's a medallion. It's a strange metal that you don't really recognize, and he hands it to you, and he says, "All right, you give that to the guy going around. He's going to be able to let you put your bet on whoever you want to. Odds go individual. You can kind of gauge it based on the strength of the individuals within." And then he kind of just lets you through, as well as a couple of other people as they go. You did notice as you were coming up that there were some people that showed a coin prior, and they were just kind of ushered through automatically. So yeah. I would say now you two guys got up there, and you guys have no idea where these people were going, so you hit that threshold, and it's like instant an arena full of individuals on the 3rd floor of a building that doesn't make sense. And you are also met with the Minotaur. He says, "All right, what are we doing here, guys? You guys putting in the wager? You guys putting in for your entry?"
Would I have noticed the people ahead of us showing him a coin?
Make a perception check. Just make a perception check, because like there's a lot going on, so I just want to know. Okay.
No.
Then not really. You notice that there were some people moving through, and then you notice that some people were giving money to this guy. That's what you
Okay.
pretty much saw. Yep.
I'm gonna
So
let him
as he
go.
comes up,
What? What? Sorry. What were the options?
you can either put in a
Entry,
wager.
please.
Oh yeah, look at him. He's got it figured out.
What did you, I didn't hear what you said.
I said entry, please.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Entry it is. 5 gold pieces.
I give him 5 gold pieces.
All right.
I'm gonna try to sneak past with him. Just turn around like I'm gonna be leaving, and then as I pass someone that I'm leaving, I'll crouch down and go past.
Okay, make a stealth check.
19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay, yeah, you all right. So essentially it's like as he reaches in to grab a coin and hand it over to Drat, he kind of notices that the other guy's gone. He's like, "Oh, fucker must not have been able to pay." And at that moment, you're behind him and you're like waving a little bit to Drat. And Drat just, a little smirk. Well, actually, you have a mask on, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. Okay. Then yeah, you just you
in the shadow of the first.
yeah. So you make yourself in.
I thought I was only wearing a mask on the upper part of my face.
Oh, okay. You had an upper face. All right. I couldn't remember how yours was. So yeah, you would have gave it a little bit of a smirk. So that would have been fine. He's more just trying to get the gold that he needs to. And so as he picks it up, he just says, "All right, you just show this coin to the guy walking around. He's gonna set you up with whatever you want to bet on, and then you just go from there. That's about it." And so, Rin, where would you like? You getting close? You sitting far back? What are we doing here?
I'm trying to get it as close to the front.
Real quick.
Close to the front as possible. Yeah.
He chose bet and I chose entry.
Well, entry is so entry is the bet. So you got that coin, that 5 gold now goes towards. So essentially, you paid as like a cover, but that cover you can possibly get back or you can lose less on. So that 5 gold is your bet, but it's no one can come in here without betting unless they sneak past.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of the objective with it.
I thought that meant it was going to be entry into the fights.
Oh, you wanted to do that?
No, it's just what I thought would
okay.
happen. I thought that.
Okay.
Never mind.
That was my bad. I said it weird. My bad. But yeah, so it was pretty much entry as your bet or entry into the fight. That was my bad. So yeah, so as you guys come in, I mean, it's huge. It's completely circled around. You guys see that it's dropped in. So are you guys just going like you guys want to sit up close, sit behind? What are we doing here?
I'm following him, but like walking in his shadow because I'm very small and he's not very small.
I'll walk up to the front.
Head up to the front. Okay, and then I'm sorry, Rin, where did you want to go sit?
I also went towards the front.
Okay, solid. I would say you guys probably can look across, and you guys can probably see where the where each other are. Like you guys are opposite sides. Like Rin kind of looks across and sees the hawk on a person's shoulder, and is like, "Oh, I'm guessing who that is." So.
Oh yeah, you did all that to change your disguise before you changed back, and you have a hawk on your shoulder.
Yeah. So you guys go in. You guys kind of take your seats.
I would definitely.
Yep.
I was gonna say I would definitely ask to see his coin because I would have seen him at that point because I don't know what it looks like.
I hand it over to him.
Yeah, and I give it a really good look for a couple minutes and give it back.
Okay. It's very similar to the coin that was on the not similar to the coin. It's very similar to the moon that was on the half cape of the individual that was talking to you for your thing. Okay. Before we get into this, we're gonna take a quick break because I'm about to pee my pants. All right. So, you guys see an individual that comes out into the middle of the. Actually, I'm gonna just pause this because there's no music right now. Actually, he comes out into the middle of the arena, and stands pretty tall. And you guys now all realize that it was Ravlin, actually, the barkeep, and he's in completely different clothes than he was. It's very ornate, very flashy, like gold shimmering, almost looks like a king should wear it, but somehow it's not a king. He's definitely not a king that's wearing it. And he walks out and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bloodied Circle. We have a couple of fights for you tonight, a couple of different matchups. Essentially, we're going to go. We have 6 combatants, and then one gets to fight the reigning champion. After each one of those rounds, you guys will be able to place your own bets, which was the cover for most of you, or for the members. You can put whatever you'd like additionally. We will just get this all started. So right now, we're going to start off with a good combination here. We have Kayla Whispervorn and Mara the Storm Kestrin. We've got the underdog is Kayla, and the Rainer is Mara. So we'll go around, we'll let you all place your bets, and we'll get this show on the road. So you see a couple of other individuals walk out. They all have masks on. Another thing to mention, Ravlin does not have a mask. Never has had a mask. He's the only one that doesn't use a mask on this place. These individuals all kind of come around. They're kind of getting everybody's money here and there. So they get around to Rin first. And they say, so you want to put money down on the underdog, or do you want to put money down on the Rainer?
I'm going to put it down on the underdog, Kayla.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So we've got you down for 5. If she takes this, you get 10 back. And then kind of comes around, divvying off a little bit more, writing stuff down. Then he gets around to the set of you two.
So I would have been paying attention. Are they giving them the coin or just showing the coin?
They're just showing the coin.
Okay, so I'm going to take one of my silver pieces and make it look like the coin.
Okay. All right, so he gets over to Drat. Underdog or Rainer?
I would like to bet on Lorena.
Very well. If she does take it, then you get back 3 gold pieces. However, if you let that set, then the next one around doubles it. So essentially, if you still miss on the Rainer on this one, or if you do win with the Rainer, then the Rainer then becomes the underdog for the next. So it's kind of how these go. And then for you, little one, what are you doing?
I'll take the underdog.
Underdog it is. Payout on that is 10 gold pieces. Same thing. So, and then he just comes around and you see... where's my dice? Okay, there we go. You see now that Ravlin has come back out and he's in the middle and he says, like we all said, it's going to first start off. So I'm going to take my seat and everybody just prepare to enjoy yourselves. He goes and he sits back on, it's kind of this elevated seat that sits just past. It's a little bit lower than all of your guys's. You guys are kind of like an up on a balcony type of thing. And you see, he kind of closes his eyes a little bit, and throughout the entire arena, there's this red mist that like slowly starts to emit all the way along all of the ground, and you start to see that the ground like splits to a grid essentially that's now spread out amongst the rest of the area. And then you see that a couple of those grids now start to come up into elevated positions along different portions of within the actual circle. And Ravlin gets up and he says, all right, Kayla to the far side and Mara to the closer side. And they both get up, kind of sitting opposite sides of themselves. And they're going to...
Really quick, is Rin within
Yes.
120 feet of me?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Okay, so I'm just going to point at him, and he's going to hear me whispering in his head, who did you bet on?
Oh, okay.
Kayla.
Let's give a thumbs up.
All right. So I'm gonna do 2 dice. Okay, so 13. All right. So you guys see that Kayla, she pulls out kind of this like one little dagger, and then it starts to just jut back and forth between the elevated portions of the room. Mara takes out 2 swords that completely slide out, and she jumps on top of one of them, jumps to the other, and then as she's sliding down to kind of swing around to where Kayla would have been, Kayla has now shifted her position, and she gets one really quick jab right into the back of Mara in a very fast pace. So you see Kayla push Mara away as she runs, as she starts to kind of move again. She gets up onto an elevated position, and as Mara is kind of pulling out her swords to deflect essentially what Kayla's gonna do, Kayla takes the dagger, throws it, and this dagger now gets lodged like right inside the portion of her like plate. You kind of see that it sticks her right into the shoulder. But what's crazy is you see that Kayla then snaps her fingers and the dagger pulls back out and into her hand. As Kayla does that, she jumps up and does like a somersault forward, then goes up for one more blow to kind of like gouge Mara in the neck. And as she does so, one swoop of her left sword knocks the dagger out of Kayla's hand, and the other dagger goes right up into the portion of her ribs and is pretty much stuck and lodged there right now. As that happens, you see Kayla again pull the dagger back in. As the sword is here, you see Kayla grab the hand with the sword, plunge it in even farther, and then take one slag with the dagger, sticks it right into the side of Mara's neck, and Mara falls to her knees, falls over onto her side, and the dagger disappears. Mara's blades are then sheathed without knowing, and you see an individual come out, kind of picks up Mara, puts a healing hand over top of her neck, and then also over top of that, and then Kayla gets up, moves towards the edge of where she started, and they give her a healing to just below her underarm. Ravlin comes back out and says, and the winner for this one, by very obvious bouting, is Kayla, the underdog. So any and all that have participated in your wagers on the next one round, you shall now deal with a little bit more. And for those of you that bet on the reigning, better luck on the next one. However, you can double your money. There are a couple more fights within the night. So the next one up is going to be... Oh, hold on. Gotta get... Here we go. The next one up is going to be... I just gotta put who won. So he points out again, and now the people have started actually showing up into the actual circle. So the individuals are sat on the edge of the circles, but they're up one step. There's like a little step that they get to stand, so they're not on the actual ground. And he says, Durnock Ironjaw, we have across the room as our underdog, and Krenvolin as the reigning. And let's see here. Durnock is a pretty beefy cake-looking dude comes out with a very he's got a like a great axe with him, and then Kren Volan, though, he has he doesn't have anything physically in his hands. However, you guys do notice that he has an amulet that's set onto his chest. And Ravlin then announces for the individuals to start walking around. They start walking around. So we get to Rin first. Under or over?
Over.
So you're dealing with the Rainer right now? Is that what you want?
Yep.
All right, Rainer for you. Clicks that. So your payout, are you doing the full amount?
No, I'm gonna do 5 again.
5 again? Okay. So payout's going to be 3 gold on that one, if you take it. And then he gets around to you guys. Drat, he hits you first. What are you doing? Under or Rainer?
I'll bet on the under.
Under? Gotcha. You're doing 5 or 10? Oh, actually, no. You lost. What are you doing, all 3?
Oh, I'm going to do under and I'll take just 5. I'll take the other 5.
All right. And Drat, what were you doing?
Under with all 3.
All right, 3. So she wins. You get double on it. And you, little one, what did you say?
Yes, I'll take the under and I'll take just 5. I'll take my other 5.
Solid, coming out with another 5 on it. You got it. And then he just writes it down.
Really quick. I thought I lost last round. Don't I lose all my money?
No. So you put the bet up as 5. The odds gave you, it was 1 to 2. So essentially, since you lost, you still got the 3 gold. So like right now, you've lost 2 technically.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's like if you put in $5, you lost because you bet on the better team, and the better team lost. So then you lost money, but you didn't lose all of your bet.
I see.
That's how they keep people coming. All right. So they get around a little bit, and Calvin again. You see, so once the final guys have sat down with their bets, again, there's a red smoke that comes across the entire ground. And a couple of the positions become elevated once more. And let's see what the next one is. Okay. So you guys just see that it starts to be elevated a little bit. So now we will get into the next set here, which is so Durnok and Kren fight, and they start off their battles. So right off the bat, you see that Kren like levitates himself up and kind of shifts across so that he lands on one of the elevated positions. As that's going on, Durnok starts to just run. You see, it's almost like his veins get more defined on his whole body. You see him yell. He takes the great axe, and with 2 swipes, he goes at Kren as Kren finally lands, pretty much just chopping right at Kren's leg. As he hits, Kren kind of puts his hand to his leg, and you see a little bit of a glow to it, and so he's able to stand. You see that Durnok then takes the longsword. Kren uses a bolt that comes out of his hand and shoots towards him. It misses him and kind of hits like an invisible shield kind of close to your side, Ren, and you see it like hit against something and it kind of disperse. And as that happens, Durnok swings once more with the back side of the axe and hits him right in the head. And now Kren has fallen a couple down and he's just starting to get himself back up. And as Kren is kind of on the ground, he gets onto his feet, does one, like, he grabs onto his amulet and does another shot. And as he does so, Durnok jumps up. It shoots below his legs, barely missing him, and Kren is flagged right in the top of the clavicle with a great axe that has gone down about halfway into his chest. He lets go, and the axe stays within. The axe disappears. You see that the amulet disappears, and it looks like Durnok was victorious. So who bet on Durnok?
He's the under, right?
Yeah, he was the underdog.
Yeah.
So underdog won once again. And like 100%, I'll be completely straight here. The combat scores were both +5 and then both +1s. So they were different levels, but they were genuinely rolling, like whichever one rolled higher did actually win. And it's just all of Durnok's hit. And none of like the last one was 13 and a 12, and Durnok won that. So like I'm not actually trying to work these that way. It's just how it's actually turned out, which is kind of cool. All right, so they kind of go around. They dole everything out. Let's see, who's next? So now Kayla gets to go against. So it's Kayla is going against Brenner Steelfang Gron. Beefy guy, and he's got full belts of armor all along the majority of him, and a great sword, as well as a helmet to him. There's a shield that's placed onto his back, and then also on his not on his back, it's on his arm that he's adorned. They go around and say, all right, Kayla's now sitting as the underdog, and Brenna is the reigning, and gets to Rin.
Kayla.
All right. Payout for that is going to be 1 to 3. So how many golds you putting up again?
5.
5. All right.
No.
Payback is.
Yeah.
All right. You get 15 back if it's a winner, and then he gets around to Drat. Drat, how much you putting up, bud?
I'll bet 5 on the rain.
5 on Reyna. Okay. So payout on that, you're gonna get 2 back on it. 2 additional back on it. However, this is the second time you've bet on a Reyna. So you get your full 5 back. That's how it works. And then for the last one, you little fella.
I'm just gonna do 5 on the underdog.
5 on the under. It's gonna pay back as 15. And all right. Let's roll out to see how the ground works. Okay, so again, you see the red mist happen. And, I think this is my favorite. Right? Yep. You guys start to see that there's a shimmer all along the entire floor. None of it's elevated or anything like that, but what was now kind of like a dirt pit has become a lot more glimmery, with like somewhat of a sheen across it. So first, that goes there. All right. So you guys see that Kayla pulls out the dagger that you guys had seen her slay the last individual with. Kayla starts to run, and as she's moving, you start to see that like foot keeps falling out from each other. She's kind of like sliding and kind of scattering across. Brenner kind of sees this and starts to move in a slower, more calculated position with his shield down and his greatsword kind of sat as a kind of more to poke, essentially, to kind of jab towards. And as Kayla starts to move closer and closer, he jabs out. As he does so, his back foot slips and he opens himself up. Kayla slides using the ground to her advantage and slits across the portion of exposed skin that sits between his thigh and pretty much his his belt. So she gets like right along the side of the hip, essentially. As she does so, the greatsword then gets shifted once more, he kind of swings, pivoting on the left foot that's still somewhat stable, and swings once across and gashes Kayla across the back. As he does so, he then pulls back a little bit to kind of gauge himself, and Kayla goes for another swipe. He hits it out of the way with his shield and comes up over top and swipes one more time at her, hitting just across her arm that was also holding the dagger. And as she kind of goes to grasp at it, she puts one more jab towards, and it goes essentially for the break between his breastplate and his belt. And as she does so, he's able to pin her arm down with the shield and slam his greatsword into the side of her chest. And Kayla sits, kind of bleeding slowly onto the floor. And the sword disappears, the shield disappears, and as does the dagger that was within. And you see Ravlin comes back out. Looks like the Rainer has once again taken another. Brenner is the winner of this. And kind of goes around a little bit. The both of them are kind of ushered off. They're both healed. And, well, let's see if it's worthy of the final contender. And you guys see that, like, all of the lights that were within here all start to snuff out one after one. And Lysira is actually, like, looking and watching them as they go out. Everything goes completely dark, and you see kind of like a quick little shimmer. And then as the flames grow back, it's now a white flame. And you see the individual that got a interesting fortune from you is now standing out in the middle, silver mask, all black leather, slowly entwined. And as they kind of look around, Ravlin announces, and he says, "It seems Lysira has beckoned for the Silver Phantom to finally fight." They both go to their adjacent positions so that they can stay somewhat away from the fight. And you don't see anything happen to the cage at first, and then you start to see that the grid now appears once more and is now separated. Ravlin gets up and announces, "This will be a very easy one to gauge. Odds are 1 to 5 in the favor of the underdog. The Rainer is obviously the Silver Phantom." So he goes around. Rin, what do you want to do?
I'll put my remainder on Silver Phantom.
Silver Phantom. Okay. He gets around to Drat. Yeah. All right. So what do you want to put down on it?
Just to be clear, I had 24 before, and then I bet 9. So is that 36 counting the 9?
You should have 36, and then you just got 36.
So that's taken from the 24.
It's 24. If you had 24 and you only bet 9 of it, then it's from that 9 subtracted from the 24. Then, so, yeah, so you should be at like...
I should be at 51.
Yeah, so you're at 51. So whatever you want to put down on whoever.
Okay, let me see what I want to bet. I'll bet 21 on the under.
21 on under. All right. So you get back, you get 5 pieces back, just so you know. And then for you, little one, what are you doing?
Well, I'm doing 25 on my good friend down there, the over.
Okay. All right.
I'm
So
gonna like.
your payback is gonna be 150, I think. Right?
I have no idea.
25 times 5 is 125. Sorry, I'm blanking. It's getting late.
I'm gonna
Alright.
point at him at this point, and then he'll hear me whispering in his head, "You got this," and I just kind of like wave. 'Cause I definitely
And
recognize him.
There is no movement whatsoever from him. He does not acknowledge whatever. Actually, you hear something in your head that's like a very quaint, "Ah, the little one with the orb," and then that's it. Okay, so they've rolled it out. You guys see the grid there? Let's start it off. Okay, wait. Luckily, Lysira is the last one, so it actually works that they're close enough. So, okay. All right, so right off the bat, you see Lysira comes out, and you see her throw down the marbles again. However, you see the Silver Phantom like kind of dissipate, then reappear in a certain area, and he's just on the side of her. She sees him last minute with one quick swipe, goes to slag at him, and she just misses against the side of him. As she does so, you now see that 2 blades have shown up, and one goes right into the side of her, and then the other one does like a quick pull and then slices just against the side of her neck. All right, let's Cox. Rerolling that. That's really tough. It's really tough. And as he does that, she actually pushes him from with the forearm and does one quick jab. He actually loses his balance a little bit and falls onto his back now on the ground. She gets up with one motion and goes to like jump and dive at him, and he rolls out of the way just in time while swinging one of his blades across and nicking against her arm. And after he nicks one of his arms, she then pulls the blade out, goes for a quick slide the same way that she did with Brenner, but he's not there. And as she turns around, he is now at the side of the arena and takes both blades, swings them back and forth, and then just goes straight up into both sides of her cavity. She gets picked up, and then he pulls them back out, and she falls right onto her knees and then slides over completely limp. And Ravlin comes back out and says, "It looks as though the Rainer does once again take the ticket. All those who have bet on the reigning champion feel happy that once again we did not need to see bloodshed from the Silver Phantom." And the crowd starts kind of like going back and forth. There's some boos, there's some happiness. There's definitely people that were hoping that this arrogant, smug person would go down in some way, but unfortunately it does not. So how did everybody turn out on that?
Very good.
Okay, yeah, you got 125. Yep. And then for Rin,
That last one I bet 3.
you bet 3,
The
so
remainder.
3. Okay, so you got 15. More than you came in with.
Yeah, I came in with like 30 or 35, and now I have 185.
Well, and also you didn't even actually bet
I didn't
anything.
pay
You were
nothing.
just winning on imaginary money because I was not paying attention. Okay, so the crowd kind of starts to separate out and disperse a little bit.
Well, I did technically
As-
bet in my own at the very end, but it worked out.
That is true. That is true. Let's just see where I left off at. So as Thorn is getting up, you notice that there is now a coin that's in your pocket. That was from this whole ordeal. And when you pick it up, the Silver Phantom kind of like looks over at you in doing so, and then just starts to kind of make his way up into the bleachers and comes over to sit next to you, Thorin. And just says, "So, did you enjoy the bouts that were from tonight?"
Yes, it was a lovely time. My first experience in this sort of thing. I'm not usually one to watch fights, but my friends were here, so I figured why not?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, and you have a strange little. You're a little arcane, aren't you? You've got a little bit of something within you, don't you? Because that.
I reach out my hand to shake his.
He reaches out and shakes yours as well.
Does he have any blood on him?
No, he was completely cleaned up, 100%. No. When they're like done, they kind of clean up the people with like prestidigitations and stuff like that, so that when they're coming in, it's not like the person at the end, if they would have won every battle, wasn't looking like a blood-soaked, like just degenerate. So yeah, he doesn't have anything additional on him whatsoever. And he just says, You two stand out. You're not from around here, are you?
No. I'm from everywhere, a little bit. I'm a traveler. With my...
I'm attempting to be a traveler.
Attempting. And you kind of see, like, he gives you like a, well, I can't really see much. You do notice with his eyes that his eyes have glowed a couple of times. And,
like
there's
physically
not-
glowed or just like a happy glow?
they've glowed, like, physically.
When they
like you've
do,
seen,
I'm
like-
gonna make mine glow with him. It's kind of like I'm
look at you.
copying his.
Look at you. Very interesting. All right.
I'm gonna make my eyes go red and black by popping
Oh,
my
jeez,
vision
okay.
in and out of the eagle.
Rin,
Oh.
you would have seen that he came over and sat next to them. So what did you want to do? Did you want to trail a little bit? Did you want to kind of what were you feeling?
I'm actually gonna slip away.
You're gonna slip away?
Yeah, I'm gonna slip away while all this is going on. 'Cause I've been thinking about that room at the end of the hall a lot.
Okay.
And I'm curious to know if there's anything of interest there.
Okay. We'll run that for a couple of seconds. Okay. So you wanted to go kind of across. All right. So as you get a little bit closer to it, you start to notice that there's like a couple of maps and like ledgers kind of like smeared across the table in certain areas.
I rolled for stealth and got a 24.
Oh yeah, you're completely fine. Like the Minotaur, it seems like he was probably drinking pretty heavy during the whole fight. So he's not even paying much mind to anyone as they're going out. So you kind of just make your way across. It's very ornate. The chairs downstairs were a little bit more mismatched. So this one being like the high-backed chairs, they're set in like a deep crimson kind of leather. The wood of the table is like a dark oak. It's definitely not from this area. Like this was definitely like an imported table from somewhere else. And yeah, you see just a couple of like maps kind of sat around in different areas. The walls are adorned with a couple of different symbols that you don't necessarily recognize. You do notice that the symbols from downstairs and then also from the silver individual's cape are within this, and there is one chair at the end that does have this as a resemblance as well.
Just writing down some notes.
Yep, you're good.
Quick question.
kind of
Do we have our
Yeah.
money now, or do we get it when we leave?
when you guys leave, you guys pretty much show the coin. Each one of and that's how you would get your gold.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna do roll for investigation, see if there's anything like hidden or anything of value that I might recognize.
Yeah, definitely go for it.
13.
Okay. So for 13, you kind of look around. There's a couple of parchments that are sat on the table, and it actually says requirements for joining, and it says prove your worth, pay your fee, and swear the oath. Those are kind of both on there. You don't notice much more on that paper than that. It does have a couple of drops of blood that are at the very bottom that are kind of doled across the edge. It's very ornate, like parchment. Like it has a border to it that was definitely intended to be used for very important documents of some kind. You notice there's like a ring or two that are kind of laid across the table in random positions. Not too gaudy or anything, but just kind of like a silver band, and then there's one that's a gold band with a orange gemstone in the middle of it. And you also see there's a map of the Kingdom of Sherstow with a couple of circles, one being on the city you came from, and then a couple of the adjacent cities going farther to the west. And then there's also a couple of different circles that are placed in the town of Malmedy, which is where you're going for the king's coronation, or the king's anniversary.
Quick question about the one with the requirements for joining. Am I to assume that that's for joining the Bloodied Circle?
Yep, that's what you would assume.
Okay.
Yeah. This room definitely looks like the higher ups of the Bloodied Circle would probably sit here and probably go over who's fighting tonight, what the matchups are, and things along those lines.
Okay.
That's what you're kind of gauging, at least.
You said the rings and bands didn't seem too valuable.
I mean, they're still rings, so I mean, you might be able to get some gold out of them, but nothing really stands out to you.
Okay. I'm gonna swipe the map and the rings.
Okay, that works. Then you can just put down, just write it down and then message me after, and I'll put the rings into your inventory. We'll see. And then back to you guys. So you guys have kind of just been like, shooting this stuff back and forth a little bit with the Silver Phantom. He's finally like getting up and starting to walk away. And as he kind of does, he looks back to Drat this time. And he's just, he looks at the hawk again. And he's like, there was a group of individuals a couple cities over that swear they spotted a hawk very similar to this above the campfire. Did that have anything to do with the two of you at all?
Was it in the city or in the woods?
I would imagine a group as miscreant as this would not be in the city, so they probably would have been just on the outskirts of the city.
I would not be surprised to see a hawk in the woods.
Huh. All right.
So I want to try
Pretty
to
interesting.
because I can't really see his facial expression, but I want to judge
No.
his tone. Does his tone sound like he's like accusing us, like he would be upset, or does it sound like he's interested, like he would want to?
Give an insight
Want
check
more
because
from it. Yeah.
I don't want to give that info up just willy nilly.
Yes. I figured. 16.
He's definitely not mad about the situation. You can gauge that he just wants to know if there's capabilities within the two of you, essentially. He's kind of like sizing you up.
Yeah. Well, did it happen to be some? I'm gonna point at him again, so he just hears it in his head and just say poachers, so he hears it, but I don't say it out loud.
Yeah, and then again, in your head, you hear, "It might have been."
Well, I do quite like animals and don't enjoy them being captive and murdered and used for clothing without, certain precautions. Never know.
Okay. Interesting. Well, in that case, it seems that you guys are in a interesting position. Tell me, where are you staying the night? Here?
Yes, I believe so. I
Do
assume
you have
so, at
rooms
least.
allocated for yourselves?
I don't know, honestly. And I look at him to see if he's, because I haven't talked to Orlin at all, so I'm looking at him to see if he knows anything.
We were supposed to have rooms prepared for us tonight.
Very well. Well, if you care to converse anymore, or if you care to turn in, then feel free to knock amongst my door.
Where is
You guys
your
seem
door?
formidable. The only door left as you go up. And then he kind of just starts to walk off.
Good to know.
So, Ren, are you still... How long would you have spent in that room?
Not very. I think just long enough to... I feel like that entire situation was maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. Then I'd say as you were kind of like going to the edge of the door, you saw the Silver Phantom just start walking upstairs. That's about it.
Okay.
Where you probably like saw the end of his shoes as he was walking up. And so so are you just coming back out? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna make my way back to the other two. I'll regroup.
Okay. You guys, are you guys staying in the arena? Or are you guys wanting to walk downstairs, or what
I'm
do you guys
leaving.
want?
I want to get out, get my money, and just kind of skedaddle. At least this
Okay.
area.
As you go up to the Minotaur, he actually he looks to you and he's like, "All right, present your coin."
So you said I found an actual coin in my pocket at that point, so I'm gonna pull
You
that
did.
out and give it to
Okay,
him.
so you show that, and then he looks at it. He just holds it for a couple of seconds, and then you feel in a bag it just get heavier. Like that's it.
Ooh.
And then he does the same thing to you, Dry. He's like, "All right, show the coin." Cool. And then you feel the same type of thing. It drops into your sack, a little heavy thud. I would say, Rin, you probably... Oh, well, actually, you snuck past.
I can roll for stealth.
No,
yeah.
I would have said you would have got past him and then you would have started stealthing, because like that wouldn't have been like a big thing. Like you were just walking out with the masses and then snuck away from the crowd. So I'm gonna say you probably got it when you first walked out.
Okay.
So you guys kind of just meet right at the top of the third level, just before you start walking back down the stairs. You guys want to say anything?
I'm just gonna give him a nod.
Okay.
How did you do? You fare well?
Fine.
Oh, not that well. Me neither. Me neither.
All right. You guys just probably make your way back downstairs, unless... Did you guys want to separate at all, or just going back downstairs to talk to
I'll
Orlin?
go back downstairs first, because eventually I want to go up and knock on the Phantom's door, but I'll give him some time to settle it. And I'm just gonna follow him up and be like, "Hello,
Okay.
you called
Okay.
me."
So you guys go back downstairs. The bar has kind of gotten a little bit more rowdy. So that table, when you guys have come back down, that table is now filled with the same individuals that you guys all saw fighting. All of them all healed and kind of like jabbing at each other, like saying like, "Oh, I should have done this," or "Oh, you should have. That was a lucky shot," kind of stuff like that. Just going back and forth, saying like, "Oh, it was unfair" or something like that. But they took the place of whoever else was there. So, and then you guys see like Orland's still sitting in the exact same spot he was, Rin, when you talked to him last. Over there in the back corner, super seedy. He looks drunker than a skunk right now. Like, dude has all of the ale in him. So what do you want to do? Just any of you guys.
Or I'd probably walk up to him to get a room key or something. Ask him what we're doing
Okay.
for lodging, 'cause I wouldn't really know what his plan was.
Yeah. So you walk up to him and he goes, "Oh yeah. So I've got 2 rooms. One's for me and then the other one's for you 3. Here you go. Enjoy." And he's just kind of just sitting back on that stoop,
Yeah,
just
I,
kind of looking out.
I grabbed the key from him. Then I'm gonna go look at the room.
Solid. Okay.
I'm gonna kind of like wave the key so they can see what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna go talk to them. I'm just gonna head up.
Yeah.
I'd like to go outside and look beside the building.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I want to look at our car and make sure, like, nobody's messed with it.
So, as you kind of walk out, you see that there's like kind of like a barn door. Essentially, the whole building is built out to get closer to the river. So it kind of, the ground goes down at a slant where the building is built out. So at the very bottom there is a barn door that you kind of see. And it looks like there was tracks coming in and out of that pretty frequently. A couple of like line tracks that would be from a cart, hoof prints, as well as handprints. Nope. As well as other footprints going back and forth in different types of directions towards that.
Would there be any holes in the walls? Gaps?
There isn't any gaps or anything like that. You do notice that there's not a handle to this, and there's a couple of runes that sit along the inside trim of the doors.
That's good enough for me. I'll head back inside.
Okay, so as you get back inside, bar's still kind of in the same little rowdy form. It's not super crazy, but the individuals that fought and died consistently are just not getting into tussles, but kind of talking back and forth jokingly, and then some people a little bit more aggressive than they need to be on it. Thorin was going to go up and check out the room.
Yeah.
So you go up onto the second floor. The room is to the left once you get there, and as you go across, most of the rooms the doors are all closed. When you get up to yours, put in the key clicks, and as you enter in, it's a room that's pretty well furnished. It has somewhat of a sofa built to it. There's 4 beds that sit in each corner, and then a sofa that's against the back wall. Behind the sofa sits a window with glass pane. You can't really see out of the glass pane. It's more made as like a privacy type of glass. It's kind of fogged. And there's the image of there's an image of an eye, the same way as the other ones are, where it's kind of a semi-closed eye that sits. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of just a regular room. Lots of reds. The floor is furnished as carpeting, so most of what you've been through right now has been like hardwood, so this is a little bit of a different thing for you. especially since you're used to the woods.
Yeah.
So the carpet's kind of happy, and there is a little poop pot that's over in a corner behind another door that's set aside, which you probably have never, or that you haven't seen in a very long time, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the far side away from the poop pot and just kind of like lay on the carpet and like kind of like grab it with my hands.
Like Die Hard.
Overstimming.
Yeah.
All right. Did either of you two want to do anything else while this is going amongst?
Does anyone at the bar that was within the bloodied circle? It's like, are they approachable at this time? Like, can I easily step in?
You could probably just go up and start talking to them. They're not at the bar. They're at that rectangular table where they had started the night before. But yeah, at the bar. I mean, Ravlin is still there. The coat is now the same coat as when he hosted, so he didn't change. But yeah, you can go up to any of them if you want to.
I'll talk to Ravlin.
Ravlin. Okay. So you go up and. So did you get to catch the fight up there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. A question for you. Does the name Manifest mean anything to you?
Manifest?
Yes. Has that name come through these doors, through the arena?
Not that I can think of. Not in the slightest.
Then you can't do anything.
Oh, apologies. Who's your favorite fighter?
I have to say Kayla. It's unfortunate that he lost her round 3, but I was really rooting for her.
Yeah, you know, it's a game of luck. Sometimes the cards just fall in the wrong way, you know.
Well, I think I'll just retire.
Very well. Have a good night. And in the morning we do make breakfast. It's 8 outside. We have a little area where you can go and sit and eat it. It's up to you if you want to take off your mask completely or if you'd like to keep it on. But when you're outside, the mask can be moved or on. So simple as that. Good night. And then he walks away and starts to hand off a couple more drinks to other people and getting a tray set that looks like some very thick glasses of ale that's probably going to the table you guys all know it should be going to. All right,
Well,
anything else?
No, I'm gonna also head to the room.
Okay. So you you enter into the room and you see Thorin on the ground doing carpet angels.
Still have my mask on too. I did not take it off.
Oh yeah.
Having fun there.
Oh yes, quite nice. I don't usually stay in nice places, even when I am inside.
Mind if I join you?
Oh, of course, come. And I kind of scoot over, make room in the rug.
And then I start doing the same.
All right, sounds good. Okay. Drat, you want to do anything?
I want to head over to the underdog of the last fight.
Okay. Lysira?
Yeah. So as I walk up to her, I'll take 9 gold and place it on the table in front of her and say, "Thank you for the good entertainment."
Okay. She looks at you and she looks at it and the mask kind of looks back at, well actually no, at this point they don't have their masks on. The majority of them took their masks off when they wanted to during that fight, so their anonymity is like completely open since their names have been announced. And so she looks at you like, appreciate it. This isn't really necessary.
I know.
Oh, okay. And she takes it, pockets it. No issues there.
I'll walk away and head to the upper level to go see our new friend.
Okay. You kind of knock, and as you knock, the door is like very ornate looking. It's got a lot of deep set woods, and there's about 5 different types of woods that are all throughout the entire door. And it's a pretty cool looking door, honestly. So as you open up, it's the complete private domain. The main room is kind of like a sanctuary and like a command center almost. Lots of fine rugs that are covering the floor and heavy drapes that are blocking the windows, with a very massive desk that dominates a majority of the room, with maps, letters, and a couple of gold coins that are set. As you start to look along the sides, there's weapons that hang on the walls, gleaming back and forth. A mounted silver mask, identical to the one worn by the Silver Phantom. It's displayed above the desk like a trophy, and behind the tapestry has kind of like a swirling little center. It's kind of cool. And he's sat at the desk looking out a little bit, and he says, one of you have come. Do you anticipate the other one as well?
I am not sure where the others are.
Others, plural.
Yes, there are 3 of us.
Very interesting. I wonder if I noticed him. Well, very well. Come in. And as you come in to sit, you actually see there's chairs that like come and kind of slide across. The desk it's practically a table, so even though you're sat, or even though the seat is at the desk, there's still about a good 4 to 5 feet between you and the Silver Phantom. And again, he still has his mask on. And he kind of just motions, and please take a seat if you would like.
Is there a fireplace in here?
It's behind him, like beneath the hearth.
Then I'll
So.
take a seat in front of his desk and pull open my book and start reading.
Okay.
How long
You
has it
could've
been
just-
since I got in the room?
I don't know, maybe before he got there, probably like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. So I'll wait 5 more.
Okay.
At 15 minutes, I would dip.
Okay. Then, as you open up your book, he kind of looks and is like, is there, what are you doing exactly? Are you just waiting for your friends? I hope.
You invited us here to talk. I sit here and I wait for you to talk. You haven't started talking, so I'm waiting.
Okay, very well. I'm gonna say probably by now Thorin is like walking up, and yeah. So you're walking up to the door probably by now.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not-
And
Well,
Yep.
hold on. We were in the room together, so does Thorin say
Oh.
anything like
I
as
say
he's
I'll be-
leaving? Like
I say I'll be right back and walk off.
where are you going?
Oh, to talk to the Silver Phantom, of course.
Huh.
Say it like it's the most nonchalant thing, just like you should know this. Like what?
Well, do you mind if I tag along then?
I cannot stop you from doing anything. Come along.
Alright.
so you guys make your way up the steps and get to the same very ornate looking door. Door opens up. You see the Phantom. He once again. He's now come to the door on this one, and he's like, good, more people.
Yes. Hi. I
your
didn't tell you
friend
about
has-
this one. I
Oh,
kind of forgot about this one, to be honest with you, but he's with our little band of people.
He reaches down and sticks a hand out to shake yours.
No, yes. I would shake his finger, I assume.
Yeah,
because-
yeah. He's like 6'3", 6'4", so he's sitting
I'm
up
gonna
there.
walk under his legs
Okay, and he's
And, like-
oh, okay, oh, all right.
And I'm gonna go and sit by the fire, but not in his chair. So I'm like on the same side of the desk that he was. Because I'm like warming my hands by the fire.
Okay. So he kind of like just looks in and like he opens himself up so that Rin come through as well. And then he kind of walks back in. Now he goes and he's now went and sat on like kind of a larger like armchair that has a sofa as well as like an additional set of 2 chairs that sits below another hearth. This one has like 2 rapiers that are kind of intertwining with each other that sit over top of a mantle.
So not the one
that's
I'm
just
next to.
no.
Oh, so I
that's
want to
made
take
out
that
of
chair
marble.
then. I want to like move that chair and sit in it.
Okay, well I will say that chair doesn't move much.
No.
So like it's like, and it's also kind of magically heavy, if that makes any sense. Like when you start to move it, you're like, this is going to pull me back into this
so
position.
I
if
try to
stay
move
here.
it, and then I give up and sit back next to the hearth again.
Okay. So he kind of just goes and sits beside there and is like, so, I mean, I had offered for more conversation.
Yeah. What did you need?
I mean, where do you come from? What is your reasonings? What are you doing? Where are you going? I mean,
I
just
come from the
anything
forest.
along those lines. You come from the forest.
It's just in general. Like, I don't really stay in one spot much.
That's
I travel
okay.
around.
Very well.
Yes.
And about you, tall one with the hawk?
I'm traveling.
Wow. All right. Ominous. Stupendous. And like you do see, so he does say like, if you guys, so he like, as you guys all sit down, he says, if you would like to remain anonymous, that is completely up to you. If you'd like to take off your masks, I do not care. This is a closed off area from any of the ne'er-do-wells below. My mask remains, but that is a personal choice, so it is up to you guys. And he just like once again looks over a little bit more at the hawk some, and then he looks to Rin, and he's like, all right, so you little one, I don't know anything about you. What are you?
I've been looking for someone very dear to me.
This is the first I'm learning of this, for the record.
Oh, lovely. So how long have you been traveling together then?
Holiday.
Holiday.
Oh,
Yes.
Stupendous.
Yes, me and Drat have worked quite.
circumstances brought us together, and my personal background did not feel pertinent at the time.
No, Drat and I were working together with the camp situation. Rin, I don't know where he was, to be honest. Kind of disappears. Quite interesting. Meaning to follow
Aw.
him, but I keep forgetting.
Okay. I mean, where are you going? Why? I mean, the Veiled Eye sits in the middle of nowhere, so
The
obviously.
coronation.
Oh, the anniversary. Yes.
That thing.
What a.
We are escorting a caravan.
We are not escorts, for the record.
Thank you for the clarification.
Very well. Well, that's interesting. And who are you escorting by any chance?
I looked at Drat because he's the one who said escorting.
Isn't the whole point of this place anonymity?
It is, but I just like to know what goes on within the Veiled Eye. Suits me more than others.
We would like to keep the names of our clients confidential.
Very well. I can respect that. So, what brought you to the fights? It's not very common that people actually know of them.
Oh, I didn't know a thing. I just saw a group of people moving upstairs and decided to follow.
Okay, interesting. And the
I
rest of
followed
you?
him.
Oh, okay, good.
We kind of just happened to come by a circumstance, it seems. And like I said, I've been looking for someone. I was hoping to find them here, but whoops, found no luck.
Very well. I mean, is this person you're looking for? Where do they come from? I mean, I know of many. If they've fought, I have bested a majority of the fighters within.
Well, I've asked Ravlin, and Ravlin didn't seem to know. I am looking for one named Manifest.
Manifest. What's the description? I don't know many by name, because there are some people that come through with, code names or individual names that they like to keep.
We have been separated for a time. If they go by code, I know not. The best I can give you is they look like me, and I remove the mask.
Huh. Very interesting. You are not from anywhere near here. You're not even from this side of the world, are you?
No.
Oh.
You tell
made
that
quite
just
the
by looking
journey.
at them?
Well, obviously, that's not a type of gnome that you see around here.
Oh.
We
Good to
haven't
know.
seen those types of gnomes in, I'd say a couple hundred years, honestly.
Hmm.
You're one of the ones that are from the mines, correct?
Yes, we tend to lay low, yes.
Huh. Very outlandishly dressed for a deep, then, are we? Very good. Okay, well, I will keep an eye out. I've seen your face, so I can actually know how to get in touch with you, which is an easy bout for me. So, for the rest of you, you're just going to the coronation. This is just a stop on the way, I would say.
Essentially,
Correct.
yes. We just
Well-
happened to need some money and found a job and took it. To be honest, I don't even know what we're being paid. I just kind of went along with things.
Oh, well, you guys are
I don't
very
ask
nice
a lot
of
of
you.
questions. I just kind of go. I should probably ask more questions.
That might benefit you in some sense.
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, I guess in that case, I mean, did you enjoy the games? Is it something you would be intrigued to be more involved in? What do we feel here?
Can be involved in helping clean people up, perhaps, but not fighting myself. I don't know if you, I don't know if you need somebody
just
to.
here.
I'm very good at
Yes.
sneaking.
Oh, very good.
If you need someone sneaky, I can help with that.
And yes, our fights kind of do a rotation every once in a while. So, for example, there are going to be ones that fought at the prior city you were at, and then there will be some that are going to be fought at Malmedy. Now, I will say they're not the most legal of senses. It is definitely something that we would prefer to keep hush-hush.
Before we talk further, there are no animals in the fights, correct?
Not that I've ever seen or been aware of.
Okay, then we're good. Don't care about people. I mean, I do care about people, but they can make the decisions for themselves.
Very well. Yes. Sorry, guys. Well, in that case, I mean, then here you are. And he hands you over a small little envelope. And just gives it, I guess, who would be closest?
I'm by the fire, so not me.
Okay, you're definitely not closest. And Drat, did you ever get up?
I'm at the desk.
He's sitting right at the desk, okay. So Ren, I guess you're the closest, so he hands you this little envelope. And do you want to open it now, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Okay. As you open it, it's a small, elegant card made of thick, black vellum paper. It feels kind of smooth and cool to the touch. Edges are embossed with swirling silver patterns that seem to shimmer faintly in the light, resembling the flowing tendrils of smoke or shadow. And at the center of the card is an intricate depiction of an eye, half closed, etched in silver ink. Beneath the eye, I just realized we still have the epic music on. Hold the phone. That is not what we're going for here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Beneath the eye, a crescent moon symbol is subtly embossed, making it a sign of the Silver Phantom. The text on the invitation, there's a little bit of like really elegant writing, and it says, "To the worthy, you have been caught, you have caught the eye of those who understand the art of strength, skill, and ambition. Your prowess within the bloodied circle marks you as an individual of potential, a potential not to be wasted in obscurity. And by my hand, you are cordially invited to an exclusive gathering in Malmedy, where the finest warriors test their mettle beneath the gaze of nobles and legends. The venue known to the discerning few as the Moonlit Vine awaits your arrival. Beyond the gilded facade lies a stage where skill is currency and glory is the prize. Present this token at the bar to gain access to the event, and trust that discretion will be both your shield and your ally. The path forward is treacherous, but the rewards are immeasurable. The Silver Phantom." And so as he kind of hands that off, he kind of gets up and goes over to like this little kind of like a bar cart, and as he's kind of pouring a glass, it's very distinctly, but you guys all hear kind of like a shattering of glass in the background that seems to be coming from downstairs of some kind.
Should we be concerned about that, sir?
I was going to ask if he seems concerned.
I'm going to be very honest. I haven't actually. Usually, Ravlin doesn't break a glass like that very often, and he kind of goes to move towards the door. And as he opens up the door, you guys can now start to hear that it seems there are Crownsguard now entering into the below.
Is there a
with the
window?
intent of stopping whatever is going on. And we are going to end it there for the night. Thank you all for tuning in to this session of Allandia, the prologue by Land. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Adios.